Morning, Bliss Family. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is doing good. This is Living and Saving with Mindy. This is the person behind the page, and I'm just on a journey to keep my finances in order and also just to manage my money well. So today I want us to talk about the credit score, how to increase your credit score. And since I am not a financial advisor, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have much knowledge rather than what I think I know and what I think works for me. So that is why I'm just going to share my story, how I got to increase my credit score. And if you can relate, then you can make more research and also you can get to learn from my mistakes. And if you're someone who doesn't have a credit score, this video will also help you on how you can start your credit score, because some people are on a clean slate, meaning that they don't have any debt on their names, which is a good thing. But if you're someone who's considering to move out of home and you want to live in those big suburbs whereby you need to pay for rent, whereby you need to sign a lease, they do need a credit history under your name. So let's get to it. And also I'm taking a video in my bathroom mainly because this is the only place in the house that has such good lighting. The lighting here is very natural and I love this place for that, but it's not really a place where I would love to take a video. So maybe I need to consider getting a light and for my videos. So let's get to it. Okay, so I wrote everything down. As I've said, I'm not a financial advisor and I don't want to get to give out information that is wrong or that is based on my understanding. So I got this information from the app Credit Score. That is the app that I use to check my credit. And also, if you do not want to use a credit score to check your credit, another app that you can where else you can check your credit score, you can go to your nearest PostNet. You go with your ID and then you tell them that you want to check your credit score. I think they do charge an amount. I will put the amount here as to how much do they charge. Or you can go to Shoprite, money markets, or any checkers money markets and tell them that you would like to check your credit score, and obviously they do need your ID card. Or you can go to your bank app and then just go to credit, and then they will tell you, I know NetBank, yes, I know NetBank has an option where they just send you everything that is related to your credit score. And then with Capitec, you need to go to credit and then they will give you like a bar to show you as to, is your credit score good, is it bad, does it need work? So yeah, I think most banks now they do have it, just so that before you go to the bank and apply for a loan and you find that your interest rate is very high up, or you want to buy a car, you do have an idea at home as to where do you stand. So let's get to it. So what is a credit score? It says here a credit score is a number out of 740 that represents your credit history. The number gives an idea of how lenders see your past relationship with credit. It also helps them to make decisions either on loan, interest rates, and credit approval. The higher your credit score is, the more confident your lenders will be that you will repay. So you might say that, oh, I don't have any debt, I am on a clean slate, but then as I've said, maybe you want to move out of home, not that you even want to get a loan or you even want to buy a house or you even want to buy credit. I mean, you want to buy a car, but simply you just want to move to a nice suburb, maybe in Sandton. In order for them to approve you, they need to see that you do have a credit history. So right now we live in a world whereby sometimes you'll be like, what, I'll never get to do this, I'll never get to do that, only to find that you actually have to do it. I myself, I didn't want any debt on my name, but I could see that in order for me to strive in this financial world, I do need to have a history of having credit. And it is then my work, or rather it is then my job, that I need to ensure that my credit history is very good. So as it says here, the higher your credit score, the more confident the lenders will be. And in order for your credit score to be high, I am so sorry, but you need to have debt. Now it is possible to say that you can have one debt, and that one debt can actually get to increase your credit score. For example, if you do not have any debt and you're on a clean slate, you can actually get a credit card. Now a credit card is one of the good ways that you can show lenders that they can actually trust you, because I mean a bank can give you 10,000 or 20,000 or 5,000, and then they're like, yeah, take this money, and then you get to decide what you do with it. But remember that money it has a limit as to how much you need to use from it. And if you use more than the money that they said you can use, and then you do not pay it on time, then that is when now your credit score is affected. And also that is why more people are just afraid of credit cards, because the bank gives you money and says that, oh, you can take this money, and then what actually happens is that when you have to pay it back, now it's a struggle. Now you cannot pay back that money, and then your credit score starts to go down. Okay, and then it says factors that affect your credit score. It's timely payment on credit accounts. So if, let's say, your credit score is sitting at 500 and your credit score is not going and you do have debt, one of the factors that can actually, or is affecting your credit score, is that you are not paying on time. And also maybe after paying on time, you are paying even under the minimum amount that is needed. Maybe they say you need to pay 500, but you are only paying 250 because simply you do not afford, or you don't have the money. So that can affect your credit score, because you're showing lenders that, you know what, you don't afford, but yet you do have this debt and you're still taking more money, but your payments are just not good. And then it also says the amount you are using on that credit. As I've said, I gave an example with a credit card or even a clothing account. They give you a maximum spend on 6,000 money that you can spend. You take the card and you spend the whole 6,000. You are showing lenders that you're actually depending on that money, meaning that if it was not for that money, you would be nothing basically. So you need to show the lenders that you gave me 6,000, but hey, actually, you know what, I'm just gonna use 2,000 from it and I'm gonna pay it on time, or I can even pay it full amount. Now that is on a credit card with paying the full amount, but with a clothing account you can just pay the minimum payment. And then it also says the length of time the credit accounts are opened. It's very important. That is one of the mistakes that I actually made. What I would do with my Rage account, after I paid it off, I closed it. That is not what you must do. When you pay off an account, or maybe you're done paying that account, don't close it, just so that that record is there that, oh, you once had a Rage account, this is how you were paying it, and it's still open, but you're not taking the money. So that is one of the mistakes that I made, that I closed off some of my accounts and I was just supposed to keep them open whilst knowing I'm not even going to use them. And then it says the variety of accounts you have, such as maybe a credit card, a loan, rent account open, can also affect your credit score. So let's say you only just have a loan. Like myself, I only just had the Wi-Fi contract and also it was a Wi-Fi contract, and then I did take a loan for someone, so it was also a loan payment, and then after that someone paid their loan, I was left with the Wi-Fi contract. So that in a way is affecting my score, because now I only have this one debt. Then how about, now they were suggesting to me, how about you take a credit card, so that, you know, because a credit card does have a huge impact and it can actually do a lot for your credit score. So also having different variety of accounts can actually help your credit score to increase. My time's almost up. Let's do a part. I was saying that it's very important that you have a variety of different accounts that are under your name, just so that you can show lenders that you know how to work with different accounts. Maybe you have a loan. As I've said, I did take a loan for someone, and the way they were able to pay it on time. And also, I'm not saying or suggesting that if you're scared of debt, then you should go and take a loan for someone. You guys, like, do not do that unless you trust that person. And also, trusting does not mean that a person can pay it. You know, people can do you bad, but it was just my instinct and I went on with it. And also knowing very well that should something happen, you know, I am to be blamed. But thank God that they were able to pay it on time. So under my name, I have a loan. I have a loan which is paid up. I have the telecom account which is under communications, you know, and then also I had a Rage account, and then what else did I have? Yeah, those were the only accounts that I've had. And then now I also saw, since I am paying insurance under Liberty, that Liberty also does actually appear on my credit report. So I also have Liberty, and now since I was approved for a credit card, now a credit card is also under my report, which at the moment it's not appearing because I got it this month, April. So in 15 days I will get my score, and we'll see either it has increased or decreased. And there's a possibility that it might decrease because lenders were using my ID a lot. Remember, I started from Capitec, and Capitec I didn't get approved, so that also does have an impact. So if you get to use your ID a lot, you are inquiring about credit, a lot under your name. You are just appearing as someone who badly needs this money, and you're someone who is just like I'm depending on this credit. So in a way it does affect. So I don't know if will it impact my score, will it go down a bit, or it will stay the same, and then as months go by, as I'm using my credit card, then it will start to pick up. And yeah, so now I have different accounts under my name, I have different reports under my name, which is a good thing. And then yeah, so if I could share my story as to how I started, I didn't have any credit reports under my name. I was very scared of debt. I was just a student and I was scared of debt until I liked this finance world and I wanted to understand it, so that by the time I get a job, I will not get to do mistakes that my mom made, my aunties made, or anyone close to me they made. So when I was doing research, they were like, you need to have a credit report for a job, you need to have a credit report for a house. I didn't understand until I understood that, oh, so people need to see how I'm actually good at paying debt, or lenders, they need to see how I am at paying debt. And that's how I was able to convince myself that what, you need this. Besides debt, besides you wanting to buy a house, you wanting to buy a car or anything, you need to have a good credit so that you can get a job. That's what I thought. And very sadly, maybe I won't speak a lot under the government jobs, but maybe private companies, they actually do check your credit reports, because they don't want any people to be affecting their company name. So other companies, they do check how you're paying your debt, they do check your credit score. And yeah, so if you're someone who's looking to go into corporate or private companies, please do consider building your credit reports and just having a good credit score. And then another thing that I didn't touch on was that one of the good, or rather one score that they consider very good, is you having a score of 612, and that is according to credit score. So you need to have at least 612. That is a good score. So if you're under the 500s, there's maybe opportunities that you can lose out of, such as maybe getting what I need this name, to obtain a favorable interest rate. By favorable interest rate, I mean that, let's say you want to go and buy a car, and they are saying that this car is, let's say we're going to give you 15%, but then they see your credit score, and because you have a good credit score that is even higher than 612, like it's good, maybe standing at 700, you can obtain a favorable interest rate, and they can say, what, we're gonna give you a 10% interest rate, which is way good. Imagine from 15 to 10, that is way good. So that is also one of the other reasons. So yeah, I didn't want any credits under my name, but after I saw that, I then decided to go and open a Rage account. Now that was 2019, when I was doing my second year. I opened a Rage account, and I would take shoes and then I would pay in 50 rands. I was just paying 50 rands, and I saw that, oh, my score started to show up, because I downloaded also the Clear Score app. My score started to show up, and I was standing, I think it's 508. And then after paying those 50 rand, I was like, what, I'm done with Rage. I think I took clothes from my brother, and then after I paid it in full, and I was like, what, I'm done with Rage. And my mistake was I closed the account. And that's why right now, in 2025, if you can view my credit report, Rage does not appear, because I closed the account. I was not supposed to do that. I was not supposed to tell them to close the account. I was just supposed to keep it open, and then that's it. So after that, I then took I took Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi, Telkom or M10 or Vodacom, if you want to do that, you can do that. Your score will start to pick up. If you are from a clean slate, your score will start to show up, but it's not going to grow that much, because this is something that you're paying monthly, and it's not like a loan where they're borrowing you money and they want to see how much you're going to pay back, but things such as your Wi-Fi, your phones, they impact your score in a way that if you do not pay on time, then it will show on your reports, it will show on lenders that you don't pay on time. So it's very important that you also treat it as a loan and pay on time. And then after my Telkom is still open, and then I took a loan for someone close, and then I trusted them, and they did pay the loan. And then after I closed the account, because I didn't need anything, so after I closed it, and then my score started to shoot up, and then it went from 620 something, it went to 639 when they were still paying. And then when they paid the last amount, and then it stopped at 642, right? Then it stopped at 642, and then after that, I think also because I'm still paying my telecom on time, I then opened Liberty. I then started with Liberty last year, and then my score went up to 646, where I'm currently standing now. Credit Score, the app, was now advising me that I need to consider getting a credit card in order for my score to increase more. Now, I didn't know that 612 is a good score, so standing at 646, I think that is very good, you know. So I went to ChatGPT and I was like, ChatGPT, is 642 an excellent or a good score? And ChatGPT was like to me, that is just a good score, but you can still do more. Then that is when I then took a credit card. Now, a credit card is one of the best way you can increase your score if you don't want a Wi-Fi, if you don't want a loan, you don't want to be taking loans for people. One way that you can increase your credit score, just go and apply for a credit card, and then after applying for a credit card, and then just pay, you know, on time, use the money, load the money, as I am doing. I'm loading my grocery money in my credit card, and then I'm swiping my credit card. To lenders, it seems like I'm using the credit card, but I'm actually not. So yeah, that's how I got to grow my credit score, and that is also one way that you can do it. And I'm very sorry, but with a credit score, you really need to be in debt. Okay, now in my closing, my time is almost up, is that your credit score, it plays a very important role in your financial life. It can impact the ability to qualify for loans. It can also impact the ability to obtain favorable interest, as I've said, and also to secure a rental agreement, and even land you a good job. So you do need a credit score, you do need to have a credit report. So consider and think very, very deeply on what is it that you would like to spend your money on. Bye.